G'day, Peter here from Oz Commercial Sewing Machines. Today I'd like to do a quick video for you on how to adjust your tensions. The machine I'm using is a Jack H2 with M20 spun polyester thread, but the same principles go for pretty much all machines except for your overlock machines which don't have a bobbin or anything that's just like a chain stitch. Chain stitch has got different tension settings. You've got to set them up one by one. This one here, we're going to start with setting the bobbin tension. Now, I've just filled up this bobbin. I tend to run my tensions around 20 grams. I use this little device here. As you can see, we've got grams on this side, and for those of you in the old school, it reads ounces on the other side. I usually run between 20 and 25. So if it's around 20, that's good. If it's over 25 or over 23, really, you're getting a little bit too tight. But around 20 is good. And that's where I found the sweet spot for my liking anyway. So what you do, this little clip here, okay, you clamp on your thread, just like so, okay? You hold your tension meter there, okay? And without putting any pressure on your fingers onto the actual bobbin or the tension spring, okay? You just pull the tension spring down and see what the bobbin reader is actually reading. Now, I have this one set up so that it should be around 2022, but it's making a liar of me there. So here we go, it's loosening off nicely. So there we go, we're around the 20 to 23 mark. I'll just loosen that off slightly. And I'll pull some more out of it and we'll see what we're doing. Now this has got to be done vertically so that we're getting an accurate reading of what the tension is coming out of so that the bobbin case is in that sort of look, going straight up, and this one's going straight up and down. That's pretty good for me. We're just over 20, or just around about 20, so that's fine. I'm going to put that bobbin case in now, and we'll bring up the thread. There we go, we're in. Okay, so we'll bring up that thread. Now there's no auto functions on this machine, so it's a full manual except for needle position and speed adjustment, which is all you really need to be able to do a nice job. So what we'll do now is we'll do a line and see what the tension looks like. I know that the bobbin tension is correct because we've just set it. So this is a fairly hefty piece of leather. You can see the thickness of it there with the two layers. So we can get a good idea of tensions on this. It should only take a few lines once we get sorted. So the first line will give us a good idea of where we're up to. Right, now I'll just hold those tails out low like that. Let's see what we've got. Okay, looking at the top, that looks okay, but it looks like it's gone fairly deep. Okay, now if I turn that over, yes it has. You can see in this line on the bottom here, we've got top thread coming through to the bottom, okay? So we need to adjust that. So what we need to do is grab this tension and we'll give it 2 good turns. So don't be afraid to just crank it in. That's the way the industrial tension systems work. Okay, let's try that again. I might lessen the stitch length just to make life a little easier. We'll go to a 4. Okay. Okay, so that's our line there now. It still looks like it's going deep. So if we turn that over, okay, you can see that we're starting to get somewhere because we can't see top thread on the bottom now. So what we'll do is, if you look in there, you can sort of see that it's still biased towards the bottom. You can see the top is pulling through. So what we'll do we'll just make the stitch length a little bigger. We'll go to a 6 this time, just to spread it out a little bit more and see what it's doing. You don't have to keep on changing the length. I just like to change the length so I can see it a little clearer, because if you're doing a tight stitch, it's harder to see. That's the only reason I'm adjusting the length. Okay, so you can see now it's going fairly deep, and yes, you can see we're still getting a little bit of top thread through to the bottom. Okay, so we need to just crank down a little bit more, give it another full turn. Okay. And we'll try again. Okay, so that's the row that we just did there. And yes, you can see in places, you can still see that we're pulling a little bit of top thread through. So if we go another turn, Okay, so we've just done our next line. Okay, you can see it there. It's starting to look good on the top. Okay, so this is the top. This is, we're starting to see a little bit of bobbin thread coming through now in some places. So what we need to do is loosen this off about half a turn. Okay, and we'll do another one just and check and see where we're up to. Okay, so that's the top. Now, we can't see any bobbin thread now. Now if we turn it over, we're looking pretty good on the bottom too. There's one spot there where you can just see it, but also if you pull it apart and open it so it's like that, you can see that we're pretty nicely joined in the middle. Now that's a good tight stitch. I'm pulling a fair bit of pressure on that to open it up. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's how I adjust my tensions by using this little device. Okay, you can buy this if you're in Australia from my online shop, which is sandpsewingsupplies.com.au. I think from memory they're around $10 or $12. They do a perfect job. I use this on all my domestic machines and my industrial machines to test their tensions before I set them up. So I always start with the correct bobbin tension, and then all I have to do is wind in the top tension and set and forget pretty much, unless you're going to change the thread size. The thread size, if you're going to go thinner than this, you'll be releasing the pressure on the tension because you're going to have less bobbin tension as well, or more bobbin tension, less top tension. So it's actually a bit weird the way it works, but the thicker your thread, the tighter you're going to go. All right, I hope this has helped a little bit, and that you've learned something. Thank you.